Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. Author of Race Pimping, the multi-trillion-dollar business of liberalism. You can get my book at racepimping.com. We're going to be doing some Christmas specials on my books and the T-shirts we have and things like that. They're going to be giveaways. Seriously. So get your Christmas list ready. We're going to town. Anyway, I want to talk about flaky leftists and their weirdos, because the left believes we are weirdos. We conservatives are weirdos. You want to know why? We're weirdos because we actually want to hold people accountable. We are weirdos because we're supposedly square. They look at our version of fun and they go, I don't get it. These guys will get together and play badminton or horseshoes, or what's that thing where you try to get the beanbag in the hole, or whatever else. And I'm just telling you, they look at it, they're like, these people are bizarre. They drink tea, they sit around and talk, they commiserate and have fun with each other. Why aren't they going out, smoking reefer, snorting coke, getting drunk, waking up next to strangers, and yada yada? They do not understand us. I don't get it. And so we're the button-up square types. And let me tell you something. Even among our button-up square types, we have those that exist, and I'll use the George Bush family as an example, who are worse than the left. George Bush, his father, President H.W. George Bush, criticized President Trump, as you guys know, in a book that's going to be out. And they said, despite Trump's affiliation, he's worried that he will be the last Republican president. Well, they could be right. Donald Trump may be the last Republican president because he's going to redefine republicanism. He's going to be the last Republican president as they know it. And he calls Trump, H.W., the older one, calls Trump a blowhard in his book. Same thing Barack Obama said of Trump as well. The book is called The Last Republicans. So he says, I don't like him. I don't know much about him, but I know he's a blowhard, and I'm not too excited about him being a leader. That's what H.W. Bush said. The operative terms here are, I don't know much about him. I don't like him, but I don't know much about him. But I know he's a blowhard. Yeah. See, Trump comes up in this era, and let's face it, folks, we all run into this, where the person that dare say good things about himself, tell you what he's done with his life, you go, oh, look at him, he's an egomaniac. I'll never forget, I was asking, some guy was at a party. This is when I was just out of college maybe or something, and a guy, one of my friends who's a female, said something like, yeah, well, the guy's a martial artist, and the guy goes, yeah, well, Kevin's a black belt. And the guy comes over and he's like, yeah, so my friend tells me you're a black belt. And I'm like, yeah. And I go, you're a martial artist? Yeah, I'm a black belt. Oh, congratulations. And somehow we end up in a conversation about it. And I'm telling him the people that I'm fighting, these are guys that are world champion, kickboxers, etc. And we work out every weekend. And so I'm like, well, what school you with? And he tell me, and I was like, oh, okay, what's a good school? And I go, well, I work out with so-and-so and so-and-so. So the party ends, and it's about 2 days later, and my friend who's a female said to me, yeah, well, whatever the guy's name was, he thought you were a bit of a blowhard. And I went like, why so? She goes, well, you were talking about martial arts, and you mentioned a few people, and they are world champions. I go, yeah, I work out with guys that are world champions. Well, how do you think you're going to get better? Right? And so then he asked me something about my degree, at the time. And I was like, yeah, I'm in double E or whatever. And he's like, yeah. And he mentioned your degree. And he goes, what did you say? I told him what my degrees were. And she goes, wow, that's it. I go, that's it. He asked me, so where'd you go to school? There? What degree did you get? This, and this. Okay. And so the facts were, in his opinion, blowhard. And it was such an important lesson for me because I remember at the time going, holy cow, what was I supposed to say? Oh, wow, you're just so much better a martial artist than I am as you get your little Master Kwan degree. And I'm fighting every weekend with guys who have belts because I want one. And I'm going, yeah, so good for you. And I'm supposed to downplay my degrees to make you feel better because you got a degree in humanities or something? Screw that. And I remember the conscious thing that came over me, this feeling, this rush of emotion, like, I'm not going to downplay who I am because it makes you feel better. And you know what's funny? I say to this day, that is one of the reasons why I probably didn't go further in life. Not that I'm disappointed, is because I'm not going to kowtow just because, if you'll pretend, it's like they call it a customer golf. If you'll play customer golf and let me win, no. If we play golf and you are 20 handicap and I'm an 8 handicap, I'm going to whoop your head. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to go, I'm going to say, good shot, Bill, when you hit a good shot. But because that's the way you deal with people in truth. If you play golf with the president, would you let him win? No, I wouldn't. I'll tell you right now, if I'm better at a sport than you, I'm going to make sure you know it. And it may even talk a little smack, depending. But these flaky leftists, the Bushes, he's got an ego. Yeah, you know what? I've talked about. You think the Bush family doesn't have an ego? Don't think that. Don't believe the hype for 1 second. All that good old boy Southern, we just go to Crawford, Texas. Look, there's a lot to admire about the Bush family. The fact that they remain family is a good thing. But don't you decide just because your sensibilities are offended because Jeb got his butt kicked that you suddenly want to go against the party and when you know something's right. Screw the Bush family. I used to just want to meet. I met Bucky. He's the brother of George, and I was unimpressed. But I mean, he's a nice guy, but unimpressed. The Bush family's not that impressive. They certainly don't represent conservatism. They barely represent republicanism. Anyway, they're all flakes, and they're to me they're leftist flakes. So Bush the younger says this, wow, this guy doesn't know what it means to be president. And what do you know? This is the guy that prior to Obama ballooned the deficit, put the spying agencies on American citizens. And look, as I said at the time, many of us were happy because we'd been attacked and we wanted different things going. But you know what? Make presidential decisions knowing what the future would hold, knowing who else could occupy that office. He didn't do that. And as far as being a fiscal hawk, this guy was a moron. George Bush Jr., whatever you want to call him, GW, was a moron when you look in retrospect. Now, in my defense, I wasn't political. I didn't know I was just out there making money, young guy trying to take care of his family. So I'm not going to fall on the sword for it. But I look back at it and I go, there's nothing to get excited about with the Bush family. Are you kidding? Compassionate conservatism. It's not an S. It's not plural. Back to these flakes. They call Mike Pence a flake. He's a robot, is what they said. They think Mike Pence is a weirdo. I've met Mike Pence. He's a button-up dude. Every time he shook hands, he'd correct his suit like a military guy. I just remember thinking, Mike's wound a little tight. Nice guy. Actually respects his wife, respects other women, says, I don't have meetings with women unless my wife's there. That kind of thing. I don't remember exactly what it is. He's not like Al Franken. He's not like Harvey Weinstein. He's a weirdo, right? That's what the left, before all the Weinstein stuff broke, when Mike Pence made the comment, I forget what was out in the news, but he was like, look, I just make sure I err on the side of caution. And so the media point, they called him a robot. I remember on the one of the late night shows, look, Mike Pence, he's a robot. He's a robot. Yeah, he's a robot that's a respectful guy. The left can't handle that. They can't handle the dude that doesn't have, a bunch of body armor and his tattoos. For all we know, Mike Pence is tattooed all the way underneath his T-shirt, down to his socks. But you would never know it. And he would probably never tell you. But the left look at those types of things and they want to know, well, what's up with him? Why is he so uptight? He's uptight because he doesn't want to deal with the issues. Like Louis C.K. Who else came out? There's been 3 or 4 people. Even Russell Simmons has now been accused of raping a girl. And some Jewish guy, Rathman, or whatever his name is, he supposedly watched. I mean, these are very jacked up people. Sarah Silverman on Louis C.K. said, "Can you love someone who did bad?" Yeah, I still love Louis. He's a great guy. He did a bad thing, but he's a great guy. Did she say that about Trump? When all Trump alluded to was what women would let you do, did she say that about him? No. She attacked him, as did every one of these Holly weirdos. But you're the weirdo. You conservatives, we conservatives, we're weird to them. Because we have accountability and we respect women. How weird is that?
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.